Yes, guys, what's going on? I am AdamMcKola. I am outside White Hart Lane, kind of sitting in front of a picture of White Hart Lane. The inside of White Hart Lane as well, which is even more weirder. I'm here with Jay. Manchester United have just drawn 1-1 with Spurs. Jay, what the hell just happened, mate? I feel like we've lost, you know.
I don't know, mate. It's annoying because I feel like we played into their hands massively. You know, me and you were doing a preview. We did preview a few days ago for your channel, and I was saying I wanted us to take the game to Spurs. I wanted us to get at them. I wanted to see Bruno and Pogba start. I wanted to see Williams start. I wanted to see us just driving at him, and we didn't really do that. We sort of, you know, first 20 minutes we had more of the ball, and we had a couple of sort of half chances. But it suited them a little bit more. I felt like we almost gave them the space they needed, and we should have been pressing them more. And then, you know, you look at that first goal. Fucking hell! I mean, how many mistakes? It's just Luke Shaw heads it and then watches it and then runs forward. Sorry, he doesn't even watch it. He runs forward, which I'm no footballer, but even I know that's ridiculous. Then Harry Maguire. I mean, I've stuck up for Maguire. I think he's had a good season. And I know, I give everyone a bit of leeway because it is the first game back, but you've got to be turning quicker than that, mate. Come on, seriously. And David De Gea, do you know what, mate? I'm sick of repeating myself about David De Gea. And this, you know, this isn't a one-off. Since Spurs last season, I've said this and I keep saying it. He's been completely erratic. He's been so unreliable. Like, you know, we used to talk about David De Gea. You could count all the mistakes in his United career on one hand after he'd been with us for 5 seasons or 4 seasons or whatever. And now I can count them all, like, from the last couple of months on one hand, but I can't even count them all on one hand, sorry, for the last few months. You know, you look at it, it's like Palace, Watford, Everton. They pile up. And you get to the point where I wonder, and I'm not saying it's just this, but as a defender, whether that's in the back of your mind as well. Because you've got this keeper behind you who's a bit ropey. I don't know whether that makes...
That doesn't explain Maguire, though, because Maguire almost left it to Fred, who was behind him, didn't he? And it was kind of like, surely you smash your midfielder, their attacker, and you take everything out with him, and he kind of didn't commit to anything, did he?
I don't know, Maguire. Sometimes... I don't know if it's going to take him a little while longer than others to get into it, because I noticed even when he had the ball, you know, when we were 1-0 down, he's got the ball. Even then, he reminded me, like, you know, that's things Chris Smalling does sometimes where he turns around the ball a couple of times. And you're like, what are you doing? Like, just get the ball forward. He was doing that. He was like turning, and you're like, we're 1-0 down here, mate. We haven't got time for this. Hurry up. So, yeah, I mean, no, you're right. That's not an excuse. I'm just saying I wonder sometimes whether that's played a little bit on the mind, because defensively we look ropey. But it was a completely different game once Paul Pogba came onto the pitch. And I know I don't have to tell you about Paul Pogba. You're probably his biggest fan. But I've said
Tell me about Paul Pogba, though, because people are sick of me saying it. Everyone knows my opinion on him. I'm a little bit biased as well, because I've kind of got that. When I seen him as a kid coming through at United, I just thought, this guy's going to make it. And ever since, I might be trying to convince myself that I'm right. But like when we look at him, he was just on a different level without even trying almost, wasn't he?
It's just, it is. And the thing is, it doesn't matter whether you you don't have to love Paul Pogba to know that he needs to start for Manchester United Football Club. Do you know what I mean? You can say, I don't like the way he's gone about things, and he's too inconsistent or whatever, but you've got to be honest with yourself. We need him. He's far better than the other players that would replace him. And him and Bruno together is what we've been calling out for. And the two aren't mutually exclusive. You can think Paul Pogba has been inconsistent, which I do, and feel that perhaps he hasn't had the players around him that he should have had. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I see Paul Pogba with the likes of Pereira and Lingard or whatever around him, you think, okay, or even going back to the Mkhitaryan days, weren't quite at the level that Paul Pogba was at, especially not when he came from Juve, when he had like Marquisio and Pirlo and all them sorts of players. So you can get that. And now he's got someone alongside him. And this is a game where if you win, it's a massive game. It's a massive win. Start them both. And this, you know, if he's played, don't give me this shit. He wasn't fit. He came on. He was the fittest player on the fucking pitch. He could have started.
And Marcus Rashford played. Did he play 90 minutes in the end, Marcus?
Yeah.
And he's just come back from an injury. So if we're talking about injuries, surely Marcus Rashford can't complete 90 minutes. McTominay's not long come back from an injury.
And a worse injury. Marcus had one of the worst injuries you can have. A back injury. What was it? A vertebrae injury, which is proper dodgy, which it can be career-threatening. And you're throwing in him for the full 90, and he's and you're firing over long balls, and he's got to get on the end of it and all that, and he's getting stuck in. It's not like he's like wandering around doing nothing. So yeah, you're right. I just don't get it. It's like it was like, I don't know. It was for me, Ollie was just too cautious tonight. We're going with the 2 old midfielders, the way we set up, and taking his time with the subs as well. You should have made them subs at half time. You should have. You should have looked at this. And
I felt that as well.
Like, this isn't happening. Get Mason. He got his subs right when he made them. I don't fault his subs, but it was too late. If you'd have brought Paul Pogba on for an extra 10, 15 minutes, that for me is I'm not saying it's guaranteed because it's not, but you've got a much better chance we'd have got an extra goal there. We could have come out 2-1 winners. 2-1 winners, and now you're absolutely buzzing going into the next game. And like you're sat there now and your head's dropped, and there'll be a lot of Reds who are like that, who just feel like it's not a point gained, it's 2 points dropped. And I get that.
Jay. Your mic keeps hitting something on your chest every time you talk, so it's making a weird noise. But yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I just want to ask you as well about Anthony Martial's performance, because he wasn't great today. He had that opportunity in the second half where he brought a fantastic save out of Lloris. It wasn't great today. What did you think that was as a result of for him? Did he just not work hard enough, lacking fitness, lacking service? What did you feel like? It seemed to open up when Pogba come on, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a culmination of the lot. I don't think. I think obviously as a striker, match fitness, arguably for a striker, is more vital than anyone. You need to be sort of, and he was flying before the break. I think the break came at the worst time for him more than almost anyone because he was banging in goals for fun. Also, the service wasn't great. He had one chance where I think he probably took a little bit too long to get his shot off, and then he had a decent shot that was well saved by Lloris. And I think it's going to take Martial a little bit of a while. Sometimes it takes Martial when he comes back 2 or 3 games to get back into it. Do you remember when he had a little break and he came back? And I'm always reluctant to sort of be too critical of him because people jump on him straight away when he has a bad game. And like I think he came back, I think last time for the City game in the Cup, and he was a little off the pace and everyone was hammering him, oh, he's this, that, and the other. And then he got better and better week in, week out, and he started banging in some worldies, didn't he? So I'm hoping that, this is the game that he needed to get his sort of rhythm going. He's going to benefit massively from Pogba and Bruno together. We saw how he benefited from Bruno. And I think he'll be all right. I'm not really worried about Anthony Martial, if I'm being honest. He's not like, when I see him playing like that, I don't think, oh, Martial, he's lost whatever. Because, listen, it's the nature of the beast that strikers and attackers like that are slightly inconsistent anyway. That's just it. And I think coming back from a long layoff, he is that type of player that takes 2 or 3 games to get going. I think he's almost like the opposite of Marcus in some ways, isn't he? I think Marcus, you can almost criticise for trying to do too much at times when he's coming back from an injury or a break. And Martial, you can criticise for not doing enough. But I think there's a happy medium for them both. And I think, given time, listen, we know what these two are capable of. I think the big sort of question now for Ollie is, does Mason Greenwood have to start alongside him? Because I know it was only a cameo tonight, but he looks like he's put on a bit of timber in a good way, a bit of muscle.
Definitely agree.
That what he's capable of. And I think them 3 as a front 3, potentially, he's up there with any other front 3 in football.
Some people have mentioned Daniel James's performance. I'll chat about that in a sec. We've got Barry from the Energized podcast coming up as well, and we've got a few more coming up. Joe from Stretford Paddock and a whole host of others. Unknown Driller with the super chat. Thank you very much, Unknown, for your super chat. He says Jose done Ollie. Adam was overconfident. I was a little bit overconfident, but I think today showed Jose is done rather than Jose done Ollie, because he didn't really do much, and he was clearly quite scared of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and scared to come out. Remember when he said what he's going to do when he gets a team like this? What did he do? He didn't do anything. We've also got Prince Vargas, who, one sec, let me scroll up for that. With his super chat, he says, Adam J, hope you guys are good. We shouldn't have played James against the team who sat deep. Pogba should start. Need a right winger in the next window urgently. What did you make of Daniel James's performance today, Jay? And thank you again to Prince.
He never really got going, did he? If I'm being honest, he had a little bit of joy getting down that right hand side early doors. His pass was, I think he played one ball that was a little bit too deep, and he's had a bit of a patchy season, and he's been a bit up and down. I think we've got to give him some sort of credit, though, a lot of credit actually, because I think he came into this side, what was a £12 million signing, probably expected to be used up from the bench. He started a lot of games, and he lost his dad just before he signed, and that to me matters. Those sort of things affect you. And I think overall, again, he's had a good season and been a positive signing. So I'm not going to be too critical, but I think today wasn't one of his better games. And I think the good thing now about Daniel James is if he starts, it probably means Mason Greenwood doesn't. And if you have to take Daniel James on, you've got a quality player there to come on in his place. Personally, now I'd like to see Mason get the nod for the next game. I think he's done enough from what we've seen just tonight against a good Spurs team to force his way into that
I
starting.
thought he was going to smash it home at the end as well.
Oh, mate, if he'd have done that, that'd have been like the icing on the cake for him as well, mate. Because I loved. Do you know what he was doing as well when he came on? What I loved, he was just like shrugging off players, wasn't he? See how strong he is. Like he's strong anyway, but he looks like I said earlier, he's got that little bit of extra muscle on him, and he was just sort of swatting them away. It's mad. So I think those three, the front three of Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, is the answer long term. But James is going to be in and out. I think now maybe give him a rest for the next game.
Jay, I'm going to let you go in a sec. Before you go, man of the match and overall your feelings after the start. Restart.
I think it hurt us, the restart, and you can see, I think we were flying just before we got on lockdown, and we looked a little bit off the pace at times, Manchester United. We didn't have that sort of fluidity that we had before we went into lockdown, especially in defence. Defensively, we looked solid just before lockdown. We were all over the place tonight. But listen, just for his match-winning cameo, a player I've been critical of, I've been critical of him. I'm not Pogba FC, but I'll give him the man of the match because even though it was only 35 minutes, I thought he came on, he changed the game, won us the penalty. And, I think anyone who was Pogba out, who's still Pogba out now, wants the fucking head testing, seriously, because we need him. We want him playing, get him alongside Bruno, and let's fucking smash it.
Actually, one last question. Do you miss Jose?
like a fucking like a backache, like a rash. Listen, I liked Jose for that first season, yeah, and a little bit of the second season. And there was times when his madness was all right when we were winning matches and trophies and stuff. But you said it at the time, and I think me and you disagreed at the time. I was like, "Oh, give him a bit more time," and you were like, "No, Jay, he's done," and you were right, he was done. So no, I look at Spurs now, and this is how bad it is. I just feel a little bit sorry for him because I'm like, you've got no idea.
That's the thing as well. We're disappointed about drawing against Spurs. We wouldn't have thought that a while ago, and I suppose that is a positive to take. I guess if we're trying hard.
I mean, you look at, I've said this many a time when Pochettino, you think his last games of Spurs, you look at the quality of their squad when they had the likes of Eriksen, Moura, Winks, Alderweireld on the bench. At the time when we had the likes of, I don't know, who did we have on our bench at the time? It was like, kids and maybe Pereira was starting, Lingard or whatever. They looked stronger than us. They looked like they had a stronger squad. And now we've made a few signings, bringing in youngsters that have gelled. There's confidence there. You look at Spurs, you've got Jose having his third season and his first season, falling out with people, negativity. I mean, I know there's no crowd there, but you're at home.
The fans are quiet.
Yeah, the fans are quiet. Do you know what I mean? It's still a home game. You should try to win it, and you need to win it, really. If you're going for top four, they're behind us. And he didn't. He just did a typical Jose. It was like he was quite fortunate to get the goal. They got a goal, and you think, oh god, well that should have played into it. That should have been perfect for him because he's a defensive type of manager. But no, he could. I don't think he can motivate players the way he used to be able to. The players used to die for Jose Mourinho. Do you remember that Chelsea team in his heyday, and even United at times? The players would give their all for Jose, and I don't know if he commands that same sort of respect amongst these players. I don't know.
That's a great one. The players used to want to die for Jose, and now he makes them want to kill themselves. For the best.
I think Don Belly will probably agree with you there.
Jay, thank you very much for jumping on today. Make sure you subscribe to Jay on Scotty and Matty, and he's going to put up some fan cams on Full-Time Devils now.
Yeah, I think there's Andy Tate's going on there, and Scotty, my old China, and your Bezzy James Young has got some reaction for us as well. So he's going to be full of the joy.
Nice one, Jay. Thank you very much. Man.
See you in a bit, mate. Take care.
In a bit. Right then, next up, we got Barry from the Energized Show. It's a podcast I've been on before. A bunch of great lads. Barry's up next, and then we've got Joe, I think, from Stretford Paddock popping in next as well, before Dean hopefully arrives, and Finley as well. So Barry, what's going on, brother?
How are you? Good to see you again.
Good to see you, mate. How you doing?
Good, man. Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, Sam. What did you make after that? I feel like it's a defeat.
I know. Do you know, going into it during the week, I was like, we're going to get the win. I was thinking 2-1. Then today, I was like, oh, maybe a draw just after watching the other games. And then coming out of it now, we should have won that. Spurs did nothing bar that goal. Bar Maguire turning off. Spurs did nothing, and then Pogba coming on was unbelievable. Like that dancing around Eric Dyer, like that's the player we've signed, and now it's good. It's good he's back. It's good the whole game's back. To be honest.
You happy about the return of football, or did you feel a bit underwhelmed by that?
Look, it was like nearly 100 days since we last saw them play, and like everyone loves football, and the way United went into COVID was they were playing some unbelievable football, the best football I've seen since Ferguson days, to be honest. And yeah, it's great to have them back. If everyone else here is happy United are back, make sure to hit a like and subscribe in this video as well.
Nice one, brother. I was going to say, you mentioned there when you were talking about the goal, guys, you were talking about Maguire. You mentioned Maguire falling asleep now.
Yeah. I
know we all know De Gea made a mistake, but do you think a large portion of that blame goes to Maguire for that? Yeah, should he have dealt with it?
Yeah, like, come on, Adam. He's the captain. After seeing what David Luiz did the other day, like, you should be like, right, that's my position. That's what I'm not going to do. I think he sort of just turned off. And obviously the lads are going to be a bit rusty, but you know, like this game, realistically, like you were going to take a draw and accept it. And we're better off ending the game the way we did rather than if you swapped how we played in the first half or the second half. Like we got the rust off us after halftime. It was a brand new team that came out in the second half. And then when Pogba came on as well, like look what we have to look forward to. Like Pogba, Bruno, once Rashford starts to get going again, Martial, Greenwood as well. Greenwood nearly won at the end as well. Jesus. We're a team to be like feared.
Yeah, it is a team to be feared, and that's like the disappointing thing, because you don't want to go over the top, because I feel really gutted right now about the result. But it's danger, you don't want to go over the top, because at the same time we've kind of like we've got back now into a position where we're actually disappointed about drawing against Spurs away from home. And we've actually kept our run going as well. Are you worried by De Gea though?
Oh, like he made a good save for Son after, so I wouldn't be overly too worried about it. Like it is, we are just getting back into the swing of things, Adam. You know, so like there's no point of overly panicking. Like look at the way you see, you know what really didn't help, the water breaks they had during the game, because United were on top then we had the break and we had to like start everything up again. You know, so there is. I think now going into get against Sheffield United at home, I think we're looking good. You know, like especially Pogba is going to start the next game with Bruno. I don't know who you put in defensive midfield there, but like and like Green was pushing the start as well, you know.
So you feeling on the positive side then? We're going into this game now against Sheffield United. We kept our run going, and we've got Sheffield United next at home, so we should be going into that to make it 13 games unbeaten. Yeah. Dean Henderson won't be playing for them, and these are questions that are going to obviously come up every time De Gea makes a mistake. Yeah. Should we be bringing Dean Henderson back next season, or would you? Something I've said is we keep him out there for another year. Yeah. But would it cost United if we kept him out there?
No, I agree with you. Like this is only his first season really being in the spotlight. He hasn't even broken into the England team yet. Obviously, there's huge potential to come, but I think it's going to go the same way. Like the age, like give him 2 years out. In 2 years' time, the game will nearly be finished. Well, like almost. Like he's not going to get better than he was a couple of years ago. So I think it could like be perfect timing, almost the same way as like when a Gallo sort of moves out, Greenwood will sort of take his spot.
What did you make of it tactically today? Did you think we learned anything about either manager?
Like the first half was it wasn't great. It wasn't great to watch. We didn't. No one really got going. There was no real flow that we had going into the COVID situation, but. After the second half, I think Spurs were afraid of Pogba. I think the United team rose, knowing, because they're obviously trained with Pogba and they see what he can do every day, and they were like, right, we can go win this now. And the second we got that penalty, I was like, we're going to get another. And, we could feel it. And then unfortunately we didn't. But like, it's the first game back. See, that's the thing. Like, it is just the first game back. But like, what a great like foundation we have now. People are like, right, Greenwood, like he looks like a new man, and he's a boy. No offense to him. Yeah. Pogba is like, what a beast. Like what he was doing. I don't know how he turned Eric Dyer inside out, but well, I shouldn't be shocked. But I mean, he did that like on the tight end as well, on the byline. Like no one expected that. And then wait, Bruno slotted. Like there was no controversy about the penalty. I'm taking the penalty. You take the penalty. Bruno straight slots it in. Like that they were united as a team. Like, you know what I mean, that team is united. Excuse the pun. And then the confidence grew. So like, I think everything is going to build and build and build from that. But a question for yourself: what are they going to do with the centre backs now? Obviously, Lindelof looked very injured. Matic slotted in, and then they brought Bailey on as well. So what would you sort of do with the back line as well?
Funnily enough, I was going to ask you a question about that, so we'll discuss it now.
I
think Bailly comes in all day long, like Black Junior is saying in the comments, Bailly to start. The only thing is now, who does he come in for? Because I don't think either Maguire or Lindelof covered themselves in glory today. Yeah, I thought Lindelof got better as the game went on. I thought Maguire probably got worse as the game went on. He started off really comfortably. But I just feel like Bailly is better with the ball at his feet than Lindelof, definitely. And I think he attacks it more. I think if you see with Lindelof, and Dean makes this comment a lot on the channel, that people target Lindelof a lot. And I didn't see Lindelof win a header, I don't think, to the second half. So I would say Bailly and Maguire. But you also look at Shaw as well at the back. He didn't look comfortable with their goal. Again, going forward leaves a lot to be desired. So I think there's you could say Maguire or Lindelof come out for Bailly. Maguire's the captain, which probably makes it more hard.
Yeah.
And Luke Shaw should be worried as well. In these home games against Sheffield United, I play Brandon Williams. Simple as that.
Yeah. Did you notice that we did really lack in the first half? Shaw not doing what Brandon Williams tends to do. Like, Brandon Williams tends to go down the line and then go over the next phase against. And like that really would have pushed Aurier back, who's not a great defender. He can attack, but he can't defend. So like we were missing that outlet as well. And then Lindelof came off and he was like really rubbing his shin. He looked injured. So I think Bailey will slot in beside Maguire. And then we have that pace that Maguire really, really lacks. And then obviously Shaw is like Rooney. If he's not playing for a while, he puts like he's not the same man. You know what I mean? Once he gets a run again, he's as good as ever. So
it goes west quite quick for him, doesn't it? Yeah. I like this. I like getting you on though, because I was feeling very negative before. You've almost made me feel like, look, let's look towards the Sheffield United game, win that, and we almost don't remember this. But the facts are, Sheffield United can go ahead of us with a win in their game in hand, and Chelsea could stretch their lead to 5 points. So, are you worried about top four?
No, I'm not. What we saw in the first half, yes. But the second half, no. And the second half, we put in possibly one of the greatest midfielders, like talent-wise, in the world with Pogba in the team. And then everyone just rose. And like we were, like you see the way we're upset. We're upset we didn't get the win. We still got a draw. Like Spurs are leaving that game being like we got the draw, thank God, because they did nothing. Obviously, bar that Son header, but after their goal, Bergwijn, who like wasn't even confident hitting it, he just blasted it at the gate. Like that stuff happens, but they did nothing else. Like Aaron Wan-Bissaka was not beaten in that game. I was actually shouting at the TV at the Spurs, like being like, "Why are you going down the left? Go down the right. Luke Shaw is there. Like, don't go down." Wan-Bissaka, that's just a nightmare for anyone. But bar that, there is going to be some questions who should start behind Bruno and Pogba. Then like centre back, someone's going to have to come into centre back now. Bailey, I think we've agreed on that. But the defensive midfielder, maybe McTominay for the headers. But there was something. It wasn't really clicking up front. Like, I think we do need sort of like a target man up there. Maybe put Kareem up there. Like, he can turn. He's the only player who can really like do a step over, do a trick by a defender. Like Martial and Rashford are better with balls over the top. And like, remember that ball Pogba gave a switch and then Rashford just pushed it. I was like, what a ball! Rashford came out of nowhere. It was like when Ronaldo scored a header against Roma. Came in out of nowhere. It like if Rashford. You see, the problem is Rashford has been like just everywhere the last week for everything he's done. Absolute legend. Like, what a man, Marcus Rashford. But he's been like doing so many interviews. Like, that guy needs a break. Like, you know what I mean? But if he was like, if he hadn't have done all these amazing things, he would have been fresher, and then he probably would have got that. But
do you think that maybe played like drained him out a little bit this week?
Think about this when he opened his phone this week and had over, like, he knew he was feeding over 1 million kids, and like all them kids realistically are probably on social media, and all them people would have said thank you, Marcus Rashford. Like, you know what I mean? He probably has to get a new account. But I know, you know what I mean? This is the first game. Everyone's just dust themselves off. They're going to go in after and be like, look, look what we can do in that second half. And no one's going to want to mark Pogba. They couldn't get the ball off him. They literally cannot get the ball off him. I think he's going to. I think he's going to end up staying. And like we have other things to look forward to: the FA Cup as well, Europa League as well. This team is looking solid. And then all Greenwood needs to do is get a goal or two, and then that means he's going to be starting. And then see the way he was brought on ahead of Agallo. Like that means he's ahead of him in the pecking order. So there is big things to come.
100%. Baz, thank you very much for jumping on today, brother. Can you give them the link for your podcast so everyone can go and check that out?
Yeah, it's called the Energize Show. Usually I do it with my best friend Ross, and it's ENERGIZED _ show. So if you want to find us on YouTube, you can check out our interview with Adam. It was great. And you can find us on Instagram as well and Twitter.
Wicked. Barry, I'll get you on next time.
If people
for the next game.
If the fans like this, 100%.
All right, nice one, brother. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for your time. I'll catch you later, yeah?
Legend. See you later, bud.
Nice one. Right, that was Barry. That's been Jay's thoughts. We got Joe coming up from Stretford Paddock in a minute. Joe was actually supposed to be the first one on here today, but he's been pissing around for God knows how long, doing God knows what, just fanning around. So we've got Dean in, who stepped up and come in early. Brother Dean, how you doing, lad?
What you saying, man? You good there?
I feel like we lost, bro, to be honest with you.
Damn, it's dead, isn't it? Dead, man. 1-1 draw, dead, man. No fans, dead. Bro, obviously, I don't know. How was you watching it? Was you watching commentary or with the fan noise or without?
I was doing a watch along, so I didn't have really any noise.
Oh, okay, bro. But I didn't even realize when I watched, I think, the Arsenal game, you can do it without the fan noise. It's dead, bro. It looks like the last game of Little League or something. No one's there. Dead. Absolutely dead, man.
Do you think that affected the game?
Bro, it's like the first goal, yeah. It's like I was saying, no urgency. When there's no fan, if there's fans there, man have been on to man saying, yo, look, you would have been on to man like, yo, you need to close him down because there's no fans there. You man just walk through the middle of the pitch. Shocking, man. Shocking.
We didn't get.
I don't know what the camera quality is saying because I'm chilling in my.
It looks good. You know, it's quite bright. You know, white background. It's all good. Sean says, "Did we win 6-3?"
Bro, that was wishful thinking. To be honest, if I knew it would have been 1-1, if I knew that would have been the score, I'd have switched on the last 20 minutes, man. When Pogba come on, shocking, man. Shocking.
Did Pogba show that he should have started?
I don't know if he's fit enough in it, but to me, the quality is obvious when he comes on, innit? Obviously, they look like they got a decent link up. Him and Bruno, and I don't know. Obviously, it's one of them, innit? But if he starts and Mason starts, we should win that game. Spurs were poor. I know that there's at home, and there's no home advantage, but bloody hell, man. Like, talk about parking the bus and that. Like, the man were camped, doing some super camping inside their own half and that. Like, that's embarrassing and that is really. And I know it's probably got a couple of injuries, but come on, man, you can't be this. That's atrocious. But it's what it is, mad because obviously that's what man will be getting onto us when we had Mourinho. But seeing it is a mad.
I was gonna say, do you think you're glad that we haven't got Jose in this instance?
So I mean, obviously, it's probably for the best that he ain't with us and that. But like I say, it's just seeing it from it's not our team. It's shocking to watch. Like, bro, how are you at home and playing like that? Like, there's got to be some onus where you need to take it upon yourself to like kind of. I know there's no fans there, but obviously your fans are watching, so the onus is on you to entertain, and you didn't even do that at all. Like, you man are just camping on the edge of your box. Shocking, bro.
It was. I thought it was really poor. I thought Jose looked shook out there today. He didn't really ever want to attack us. They looked good on the break because we committed so many men forward. So because our wing backs got forward or our full backs, we looked like they could get at us, but they very rarely did. Obviously, that one run from Bergwijn brings that chance. David De Gea, awful mistake. Do you think we could see? Do you think it has to save it? I think he expects to save it 10 times out of 10. Do you think we are seeing the beginning of the end of Dave at Old Trafford, or is that harsh?
I don't know. He's making it's mad because I seen someone on Twitter where someone's like, I don't know how many times I can shake my head watching a replay of De Gea, and it's literally I do the same thing. It's like, bro, it's like because he saved us so many times. I try not to be disrespectful, but it's hard to defend. It's like the one in today. Like when I first saw it, I was thinking he's been surprised and the power's beat him, but he's straight at him. You need to save that, and so I don't know. I don't know. Potentially, you could, like, who's taking him? He's just on a new contract. He's not going to Madrid now. Like, where's he going? He's not gonna. You're not gonna go to. Well, you ain't go back to Atletico. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna go there. Where are you gonna go? So he has to stay in it. Like, I can't see where he's. Who's not? I know he probably still have suitors as poor as his form's been, but I don't see who's gonna pay his wages as well. Obviously, he held out for the contract. He got it. So. Can't see him leaving, to tell you the truth.
Do you think personally we'd benefit from bringing Dean Henderson back, or do you still have faith in it? Because he did make some great saves after that. But
yeah,
the damage was done, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Son with the header. Like that was a good save. He's still quality in it, but it's them. Like I say before, the Bergwijn goal, he saves that. It's just bread and butter before, but now it's I don't know, man. He's declining in it. I don't know, like it's mad, but obviously he ain't played for 3 months, so you can kind of use that excuse as well, innit? But he don't look good. It's not good viewing.
It's sad to watch, isn't it? It's sad to watch, and because it's like he knows that's fucked up. What you just did is not good, and I suppose you can. I said this to a last game. The last time he made a mistake, I was like, well, he made that mistake, and then he didn't make another one, and that kind of makes you think like. Okay, maybe because remember when he first came in, he would get rattled, wouldn't he? Like he'd get rattled, and his whole game would unravel. But he doesn't do that anymore. He just makes a mistake, and then his whole he gets back at it. And you look at Lloris, who I thought I don't rate Lloris anywhere near David De Gea, but he kept Spurs in that game today.
Good save from Martial. That was a good save.
The Martial save, the Rashford save.
Martial has to score as well.
Not the one that drew the great save from Lloris. I think the other one where he scuffed it and Dyer kind of blocked it. I think he's got to score that one. I think
the one where Bruno fizzed it into him.
Yeah, I think Marcus Rashford
has to score that as well. Has to score that. A top score for me. I don't want to get into the whole Anthony Martial debate again. I know it's however many months off, but you have to score that in my opinion. Especially the time in the game, you got to bury that, mate. And it would have been such a highlight reel moment if he'd have scored it as well. Because the ball from Pogba to Bruno to Martial was ridiculous. What
did you make of the game when they came on? When Pogba came on, and Bruno linked up, and because Martial, he was poor today, but he looked better, didn't he?
Yeah. Again, obviously, when you got better players around you, you're gonna look better in it. But for me, that was the only entertaining part of the game was when Pogba came on. Like he's got the quality in it. Again, the mad thing is, bro, it blows my head. Some people want Pogba to leave, bro. How, like, what are they watching? The way there's no. I'm not going to get into the call of De Bruyne and that, but De Bruyne ain't doing that what he did to Dyer. I know Dyer ain't the best defender in the world, but you're not just rinsing, man, and just winning the penalty, get your team back in the game like Pogba does. No, I don't know any midfielder in the world who's doing that, to tell you the truth. Who can just beat, man.
He looked like Dyer had him, didn't he? And it was just like he's gone. And it was like...
You never had him, chasing a fart. Something. Never had him. He's just done him, and obviously it's kind of unfortunate for Pogba that he's not on penalty duty, and because obviously if he'd have got the penalty and scored the goal as well, I say again it would have. Again,
it was good to see no disputes about that, though, weren't it? He kind of just went, take it, business done. It was kind of like, let's just get the goal. We need the goal. There's nothing else about it. I thought Bruno, who was your man of the match before I say what I was going to say?
I don't even know, man. To me, it was a poor game, innit? I don't know. Like, Pogba was Pogba was the best. Again, seems like a bare bias, but Pogba was the best player on the pitch from what I saw, and he only played for like 20 minutes or so. So I don't know. Bruno was all right with that.
I thought Bruno was our best player until Pogba came on. And then Pogba was...
Yeah, a lot of people probably thought that, you get me. A lot of people were probably thinking that in general, you get me. Like, everyone's been on Bruno's nuts on that. You see Pogba come back and just the couple of influences he had on that. it's ridiculous. But then people been lauding or again, he's deserved it and that Bruno. But Pogba come on and just show him man the quality and that like the couple balls he played and that were ridiculous and that. But for like I say, for me, he was. I don't want to say he's the man of the match, but to me, he was he changed our game, innit? He changed our game when he came on 100%.
XS says Pogba best player. Ross says Bruno man of the match. One thing that frustrated, I thought Bruno was up. Look, we're going to give man of the matches out. I'd say Bruno in the grand scheme of things. He scored a goal to get us back into it. He played most of the game. But I thought Pogba his substitution was vital in us getting that point. One of the things that frustrated me though was Bruno's, sometimes the game opens up in front of him and the dude shoots. And you think,
nah, he can bang. He can bang. Though,
he can. And that first one, I went, why are you shooting? And then I went, oh, like, because it was so close. But like, sometimes as a striker, like on the shoulder, and you don't. And there was one in the 95th minute, and he just fired it wide. The game was finished then, and it's like we had a chance to build up the attack, bro.
Yeah, no, but he can bang. The one that he had where he took first time, and he obviously, I think Lloris let it go, but he just went wide, bro. The techers on that is ridiculous, and that like you can just tell the man's a shooter. You get me? So I would again. I think for me, you have to take the rough with the smooth with man like that. He's gonna shoot and he's gonna miss, but in order for you to have these moments he has when he's banging him in from 25 yards, you gotta let him shoot in it. So I don't wrong him for doing that. Like I say, to me, it's not like like he's not with Fred. It's Fred shoots like again. We're picking it out of the Stretford end or tier 2 or something or East Stand tier 2. Like so, I don't want him to shoot, but Bruno's he's raw accurate. You get me? So let him shoot in it. Like I say, with my prediction, we needed more shots in it. Like we need some shots. You get me? Trust me, bro.
We need about 5 more shots, bro.
Trust me.
I was gonna say, do you feel deflated then? Confident going into the Sheffield game,
bro?
Do you think top 4's gone now with 5 points behind Chelsea?
I don't know because we don't know because this is just a different time in it. Like because there's no one. We've not got nothing to compare this against. Like because obviously there's no fans and stuff, so you don't really know who's gonna turn up, who's on it, who's not. Like the mad thing is, as much as I was thinking this when the game started, like as much as there's no fans, we're still Man United, and this is still every team's biggest game, and like that's the way I see it. So it's like teams are probably turn up for us, but. There's no like I say the first goal in my opinion if there's fans there it doesn't happen because man just close him down but because there's no fans it's not happening so I don't know I'm not confident of getting top 4 I'll tell you straight man like because like I say so this is a proper unknown commodity and I don't think if Chelsea win on the weekend it's gonna be tough isn't it so I ain't confident I wouldn't put my money on it you get me like.
Callum with the super chat says the only thing deader than Dyer was his trim. Who has a mohawk in 2020?
Man, come out like Chuck Liddell, you get me? I don't know what's going on with him, you get me? Bro, how's he coming out like the Iceman, you get me? He got put on ice as well, moving like bamboo and Pogba put it on him, you get me?
Oh, God, he did twist him up. Neil says, win the last 8 and we're good. And our last 8 fixtures are quite winnable. If you look at them, let's have a look at them before you go, Dean. We got Joe waiting, so we'll get Joe on from the paddock next. He was supposed to be first today. Dean was supposed to get Finley was supposed to be
best for last. You get me?
Yeah, right. 1 sec. So what was I just gonna do? How did I forget?
The fixtures and the fixtures.
That's it. I went into the comments like, what am I doing? Right. Premier League. United are 5th, 2 points behind Chelsea. Hopefully Chelsea draw against Leicester. Fixtures. Next up, Sheffield United, W, D or L?
Where is it Old Trafford, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's tough. I don't know.
No Dean Henderson for Sheffield. Bro, stop thinking. W, D or L?
What's that?
W, D or L? Win, draw, lose.
D, innit? It's going to get the draw, innit? No, it's still dead, man. It's dead, bro.
I'm glad you said get the draw then and not get the D. Brighton away is the next league game.
Never that.
Brighton away after Norwich in the cup. Win, draw, lose.
Yeah, you got to be looking to win that game, innit, man? They're all winnable in it, but again, it's like I don't know.
Bournemouth home, win, draw, lose, go.
Win, innit?
Villa away.
Winning at Villa Park, innit?
Hopefully the switch on goal line.
We might have to rock up down there still.
We're doing it, yeah? In hazmat suits. United Southampton home.
Yeah, you gotta beat them. I think they win today. I mean, you need to be better than them, to be honest.
Palace away.
Yeah, their fans ain't there, so you need to batter them as well, innit?
West Ham home.
You need to be dusting them up as well. We need to win them all, innit? So
Leicester away is our last game of the season. I think that's our most difficult game, and I think if we play our cards right, we could have top 4 wrapped up by then. But we need to win all of our matches. Dean, any final words before you go? Before I leave Joel hanging too long, anything else you want to add?
Just this dead, bro. Look at since I seen the flipping the City Arsenal game, yeah, it's just dead, bro. No atmosphere. It's just it's absolutely. Obviously, it was a bit better today because obviously I have a vested interest, but it's absolute dog shit, bro. This fucking no fans in there, bro. It's absolutely dead. To me, bro, it's mad. Obviously, I know footballers obviously deserve what they get paid, but it's they're literally, to me, bro, this doesn't work without fans at all. Like, it just doesn't work, man. But obviously, the Sky and BT want their money, and it's what the money's worth. So obviously, we've got to carry on in it. But to me, it's not the same, bro. It's not complete. It's not the same at all. You get me? Like, not the same, man. But I ain't gonna try to be too negative. So. You know what I'm saying? But
you have been, but you're gonna try not to be now.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave it on a positive note anyway. Like, I ain't got nothing positive to say, man.
Gonna win the league. We're gonna beat Sheffield United, innit, Dean?
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully, I see some goals, bro. Because it's absolutely dead, man. Absolutely.
Right, before
dead.
Dean stresses himself out, I'm gonna kick him off. Dean, thank you very much, my brother.
Yeah, safe,
catch up with you soon. What a legend Dean is. That was absolutely hilarious. And it's better than a kick in the nuts. Right. Are you ready for Joe? Are you ready for Joe? Can I get a drum roll, please? Hey-o.
Hello. Playing me on like I'm Goldberg or Brock Lesnar or something. Exciting though, isn't it? It's good. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How are you? We're outside. Look, we're inside White Hart Lane.
Inside White Hart Lane. Yeah. It's good, isn't it? It's very
inside.
nice. Is it White Hart Lane, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium it's called? Yeah, I'm doing all right. Not particularly happy, but not completely gutted either.
I feel like we've lost.
Do you? Do you think that's not a good sign, obviously, but like the fact that we were the ones that it was up to us to win that, and it was only ever going to be us that won that, wasn't it? After we got that goal back, after Pogba came on, obviously a draw, it's not great, but you look at the fixtures we've got left. You look at the fixtures that Chelsea have got left, which I'll mention in a minute. But yeah, it's not the worst result ever, is it? Just not great.
Yeah, when you look at it on paper, a draw against Spurs. You take it, especially if you asked us 2 weeks ago, lads, would you take a 1-1 draw against Spurs? First game back, keep the run going. You'd say yes. But then when you look at it, first off, the penalty, the second one, it was soft.
Do you think that was a penalty, the second one?
Listen, VAR shouldn't have overturned that.
No, that's not. I mean, as much as I want
listen to me.
Look, if
the referee doesn't give it, VAR would never give it, and rightly so. So you've got that bit of information, yeah?
Yeah.
If the referee did not give it, VAR would never come in, and that's correct. But the referee did give it, and Eric Dyer or whoever it was did hit him.
Yeah. He did
whether it was full contact, whether it was late contact, whatever, he hit him. You get a free kick for that. So why don't you get a penalty for that? Why is VAR overruling the ref? It wasn't clear and obvious. That is my argument. That penalty should have stood.
Do you want VAR to be in the game to make it difficult to overrule referees, or do you want it to be in the game to make the correct decisions?
Listen, Joe, it was against Manchester United, so therefore...
Mate, I want it as much as you. I wanted it to be a penalty as much as you. But the contact was way after, like, it sort of moved around the corner almost before it touched him. It was a brush of a knee on a knee, wasn't it? I know what you mean. But I just think that really it's not a foul, is it? And if we're being fair to the game, like we're trying to be fair, it wasn't really a foul. And as much as I want it to be, and I think we would have won, and he would have scored, and he would have jumped, and he'd have popped it in the back of the net. You can't be expecting the referee to give wrong decisions just because you shouldn't be overruling him.
All right, I feel like I've been put back in my place, and I don't feel as gutted.
Sorry,
I don't feel as gutted anymore. Then I don't feel as gutted anymore. If everyone is saying it wasn't a penalty, all right, cool.
I think we still should have won. I think we still had chances to win. I think we were the better team, and we should have won the game. And we'll be more upset with that than they will, definitely. Look at the way they played. They played with...
Jose was shook in it.
Proper. They had 20 metres between the centre-back and the centre-forward all game. And then not only did they do that, when we got the goal back, 1-1 at home with a chance to push back and win a game to push for top four, they take Bergwijn and they take Lamela off for Fernandes. And who was the other centre mid they brought on? Another defensive midfielder. Like, they had any chance they had of winning the game, they just took away from themselves by those two substitutions. They weren't trying to win the game at all. United looked. They started pretty well, and then they conceded the goal. United looked shook for the rest of the first half, couldn't get anything going, kept losing the ball, pretty crap going into half time.
It was a bad reaction to the goal, wasn't it?
It was a bad reaction. And I think that is a sort of a symptom of a club that doesn't have a deep confidence. Obviously, we've had a decent few weeks, at least a decent few games, obviously leading up to this one. But it's a club that actually, when things are sort of backs to the walls, we don't push and we don't come back and look like a confident, excited team. We look a bit scared, which is sort of to be expected after 7 years of crap in it. But we came out in the second half. We looked the better team. Pogba came on, changed the game completely. And I think if the game was 10 minutes longer, we would have won. And that's an old rubbish bit of a cliche. But United were the better team. United were the only team who were trying to win that game. And
do you think you were wrong before the game to say Pogba should have been on the bench?
Well, no, because
you never said that. I know what you said. Sorry.
The only reason I thought it might be better. To be on the bench isn't because he's not good enough or because he shouldn't have played. He was our best player when he came on.
I worded that wrong.
As Solskjaer said, I know you weren't trying to stitch me up. As Solskjaer said, he's only got 45, maybe 60 minutes in him. So taking that into account, I think it's better for him to play the final 45 or 35 minutes as he played today than it is for him to play the first 35 or 45 and then have to go off and leave us with a weakened team for the last 30 minutes. I think, if it has been decided that Paul Pogba can't play the full 90, it's better to put him on at the end rather than at the start. That's my only point, which I still stand by because, it's not a guarantee that we wouldn't have conceded that goal if he was on the pitch because it was nothing to do with the midfield. It was poor from Luke Shaw, poor from Harry Maguire, poor from Victor Lindelof, poor from David De Gea. So, other than that, they had that Heung-min Son great header. They didn't make that many chances, really. And Paul Pogba obviously increased our output and reduced their output as well because that's one thing that people talk about with, can these two play together, Bruno and Pogba? Well, you saw at the end, it's not just, they're a bit more attacking, can we defend it? They don't touch the ball when them two are on the pitch. Like Tottenham barely had the ball for the last 35 minutes because we can actually keep it when we've got two good midfielders on the pitch. That's the difference. Without them on the pitch, the ball's getting bobbling around, it's bouncing off Fred's foot, it's going this way and that way. Mason came on, Pogba came on, we kept the ball so much better and just stopped them making chances. So that's one thing we've definitely learned is that Bruno and Pogba have to play together as much as they are both physically able to.
Now, I'm as guilty as this as anyone else, so I'm not pointing fingers. But Hammy says here, once Rash and Tony are flowing with Pogba and Bruno, it's going to be calm. Do you think there's a case of us to get over-exaggerating when we're in the heat of the moment because of the emotions? When maybe actually it's not a bad return to Premier League football for United.
It's not a bad return. It feels shit, and we were so excited. We thought we were the better team. We were the better team on the day. We had twice as many shots on target as they did. They didn't have a single shot on target second half. Like, it's not that we were battered and we held on. They were at home with their full strength side that's meant to be one of the better first 11s in the league. When Mourinho took over, everyone was going, myself included, hang on a sec, they might be on to me here. This is their full strength side with a winter transfer in there as well. They've got Gedson Fernandes. They've got Bergwijn in there as well. So this is a better team than he took over. Full strength at home. He's had 3 months to prep for it, and they were hanging on for 70 minutes. So I don't think there's that much. If we would have lost, you would say it doesn't matter how good we were. Not that we were that good, but it doesn't matter that we were the better team because the result's all that matters. But a 1-1 away, like you said, at Tottenham away, And it's not just Tottenham, it's Jose Mourinho. And it's not just Jose Mourinho, it's former Man United manager Jose Mourinho. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of things to overcome. There's a lot of emotion and a lot of... Jose would not... You could see the way they played. He was desperate not to lose because that's what he's like. So it's not the worst result.
He didn't want to get that little pat on the head, did he?
No, and you think of it in context of the season, this is United going for top 4. This is what the league is all about. It's can we get top 4? We're 5 points behind Chelsea. You went through United's remaining fixtures before with D. Just quickly, go Chelsea.
You wanted to do this, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They've got City still to play. They've got Leicester still to play. They've got Sheffield United still to play. They've got Liverpool still to play. And they've got Wolves still to play. Now, that is not an easy running for Chelsea at all, is it?
5 out of 9 games.
Like 6.
Where's the Wolves one?
The Wolves one is on... it's the last game of the season. They're at home to Wolves. So, home, obviously, they get a bit of an advantage, but there'll be no fans. They've got Liverpool away, Leicester away, City at home, and Sheffield United away. Like, if you think they're not going to drop 5 points in those games... They are. So if United,
if they don't drop 5 points in those games, they deserve top 4. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. You know, we're 5 points behind them. We're 2 points behind them, but they've got a game in hand. So they might not even win that one against Villa. Obviously, Villa fighting for their lives, and they've had an extra game, which is a massive thing at this point, having that sharpness 90 minutes under the belt. So don't be surprised if Villa get a result against Chelsea either. But I just think that, you know, they've got a much more difficult set of fixtures than us. And so we've already played City twice. We've already played Liverpool twice. We've played Wolves twice. We've still got Sheffield United, obviously. But, you know, they've got a really difficult run-in. And like I said, if they don't drop 5 points in those games, they deserve top 4. But I think they will. I think they'll drop more than 5.
So you think we'll get top 4? Or you just think Chelsea will drop more than 5?
I don't think tonight's game will be the reason we don't, if we don't. I think we will have better chances.
Because our games are winnable. So let me do the same thing with you.
Yeah.
So we got Sheffield United next. What are you saying on the result?
We'll win that.
I'm not going to say the cup game. Brighton next after that.
You've got to win it. Got to win it. Away doesn't matter anymore. That's a good thing. You know, not that I think it would matter too much with Brighton anyway, but away isn't a thing anymore.
But Brighton and Villa away and Palace away and Leicester away at the back end of the season when they're chasing things are the kind of games where we drop points. So maybe it's like I'm a bit scared about top 4, but you've made me more confident. So Brighton were winning, Sheffield United were beating, Bournemouth at home.
That might be tricky just because they've got a couple of decent strikers and who knows what it'll be like playing at home. So let's say a draw for that one. Because I don't think we'll win all 8. So we've got to pick where we're going to drop some points here. You know what I mean?
Villa away.
We'll win that.
Southampton home.
Batter them.
Palace away.
It will be tough, but I think maybe a draw again. But, you know, I think it could easily be a win, that one.
West Ham at home.
Beat them easy. And we'll beat Leicester away as well. We'll win them.
1, 2, 3. 8 games, you said 2 draws and 1 win.
I won't be surprised if the season unbeaten, to be honest. But if we get 20 points, so easy.
100%.
It's not going to be easy, is it? And we put ourselves in a position at Christmas where it wasn't going to be easy when we were 9 points behind Chelsea. So we knew that top 4, you know, we've seen it down the years. The team that finishes top 4 is the team that has the last 6, 7, 8 games that you win 5 of those. Chelsea are going to drop plenty of points before the end of the season. If we finish strongly, we'll get top 4. But we put ourselves in a difficult position when you know Martial was out, when Pogba was out, we dropped points. When Rashford was out, we dropped points. We've had a good run of form, which is extended, by the way, to 12 games unbeaten, and still only 3 goals conceded in those games. So it's not, you know what I mean? It's we should have won tonight. We were the better team. We had more chances. Tottenham didn't try and win.
4 goals conceded before the people. One today, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I thought it
was 1 today.
2 before, or was it 3 before? Either way.
Yeah, I think it was 3 before.
Do you know what I mean? It's not bad, is it? We'll just have to see. But I don't think away at Tottenham, with a Jose Mourinho as manager, with their full-strength squad, a 1-1 draw in a game that we dominated, I think this is the team looks promising, doesn't it? It looks promising.
Definitely does. And it's good to leave it on a positive note. Did you give me your man of the match?
Bruno.
Is Bruno or Pogba?
Overall, it's Bruno in it. Pogba, minute for minute, Pogba was the best player on the pitch. But I think if you add together everything that he did on the in the game, Bruno was the best player.
Nice one, Joel. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Even though you were late, how did you watch along go on today?
It was very good.
Good fun?
It was very fun. Yeah, it was good.
Is Steve in good state?
Steve's doing all right. Yeah, he did his review. He was a bit stressed out, but he's calming down now.
Good thing. Get him some food. Make sure he's fed, and he'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
Thanks again, Joel. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Make sure you like and comment and share and subscribe and joining. We are now 6 members away from 100, so get clicking that join button as well. Can we hit 100 by the end of the month? 6 to go, 11 days left. Surely we can. Anyway, I've been Adam. This has been Joel. Subscribe to Stretford Paddock. Subscribe to AdamMcKola TV. For now, we are out of here.